Yo, what is up, everybody? I keep getting people asking me how to become better at carry, especially how to hit more autos. So I decided I'll make a video on what I do to get better at auto attacks. Check it out. So for this drill, you go to Arena with a buddy, you turn off the minions, set the levels to 20 and max gold. You're going to pick your ADC, and you can do this with any combination of ADCs, but I recommend that you do it with on her versus on her, because it has a great mixture of CC immunity, and counterplay with his abilities and relics. Once you get into the game, only build Asi and Ichaival, upgrade your beads and Aegis for your relics. If you really just want to practice hitting your autos, you can do this with no abilities, but I recommend that you do it with your abilities because you'll learn how to win your trades better, and you never really fight with just autos in your matchup anyway. So let's start by looking at your settings. I'm not going to tell you exactly how you need to have your settings set up, but I am going to say that if you're on controller, make sure your sensitivity isn't too low. And if your sensitivity is too low, you won't be able to flick autos or 180 when somebody repositions behind you. On controller, I wouldn't play with anything less than 21. Make sure you also go through all your other settings and figure out what works best for you. Here's some key mechanics to pay attention to. So the first tip is to make sure you click for every auto attack. This is a really simple one, but it's really important that you intentionally place every auto attack. So make sure you're clicking or pulling the trigger for every single auto attack. Holding right trigger or left click makes it so that your brain is mostly using sound cues to time your auto attacks. So clicking each auto attack makes it so that you know exactly where and when your auto attack is firing. One key thing to work on in this drill is how to position when auto trading. Generally speaking, when free casting autos, you should think about the 35 to 55 range being the range where you or your opponent can juke, and therefore you'll have to predict where your opponent wants to juke. Anything within the 35 to 10 range, you should hit about 95% of the time. Those you don't have to predict your opponent for, you just have to place your auto attack correctly. Within the 10 unit range, you should be able to hit everything, but you have to make sure that your opponent doesn't try to walk around you or that they're positioning to cast an ability that they won't be able to miss. Because there's a delay between the time the auto attack is shot and the maximum range of the auto attack, retreating while auto attacking at a max range is stronger than advancing and auto attacking at the maximum range. When you're advancing and auto attacking, you won't be able to hit somebody who is retreating and auto attacking if you're at max range. So if you're chasing someone down, you'll have to close the gap before you start auto attacking. Juking in general is where my favorite mental battles in Smite happen. There are so many creative ways to approach juking in boxing. I'll share some of my strategies that I use the most. The first thing to do when juking is read how the other player is auto attacking and juking himself. Everyone has a pattern to how they auto attack and juke. The most common thing people do is change direction when their auto attack fires. If your opponent does this, then you know exactly when he's going to change direction and where to place your auto attacks to hit him. When trying to position closer to someone who is auto attacking, give him a juking pattern, see if he reads it. If he does, then change it as you move in closer. If he doesn't, then just keep juking closer. One of the best juking patterns I use is actually not juking. It throws people off when you're juking and then you just stop juking and keep moving one direction. You can usually get in 3 free autos before your opponent realizes what you're doing. And the final thing you learn in this drill is how to use your crowd control to counterplay your opponent. For example, if I'm playing on her versus on her and I see the other on her jump towards me, I can decide to beads the jump, or I can decide to jump the jump, or I can decide to ult the jump. And figuring out which of those is the right option or the best option is just part of doing the drill. You'll be able to practice it and figure it out yourself. Something that will help you know how to take your trades is pre-thinking about what crowd control abilities interact with each other. So you can say, for example, if Anher's going to leap me, I'm going to do X, Y, or Z, right? And you'll have that in your head ready to go so that instinctually you know he's going to leap, I'm going to ult, or I'm going to leap and then impale, you know, whatever it is you're going to do. You need to have that kind of in your mind already so that when you get in the situation, it's just instinct and you're not reacting, you're being proactive. You've already thought through the situation and it'll give you more time to actually hit your mechanics or do your mechanics because you're not thinking about what the right or wrong thing to do is. You've already pre-calculated the line of attack. So those are the things that I do to get better with my mechanics on ADC. It helps me a lot. I've been able to, you know, win most of my matchups when sometimes even if I'm not in a good matchup, I can win it because I've practiced, one, hitting my autos more frequently, and then two, having pre-thought the lines of attacks so that I know what's going to happen before it happens, and when I do it, it's very smooth and fluid, and I already know what's going to happen, provided that I'm going to hit everything, which is, you know, again, what you're practicing anyway. So you'll get more and more consistent if you keep doing this drill, if you can find somebody to do this drill with you. And it doesn't even matter if either one of you are particularly good. Just doing this with anybody will help you. It'll help them get better and will help you get better. So make sure you add this into some of the things that you're doing to try to get better at carry. It'll probably help you in other roles too. Let me know in the comments if there was anything that was really helpful to you. Remember to share this video with your friends, and remember to hit that like button for me. If you guys want to see more content like this, don't forget to sub. Thank you guys, have a good one.